Hello to another video about extreme weather. Today we're in the middle of yet another heat wave here in the UK, and it is mid-30s and I am absolutely boiling hot. I just can't begin to imagine what it's like on other countries and other areas of the planet. So I thought I'll do a video and we can do exactly that. We're going to compare the temperatures of different places with each other. And we're going to see just how hot it gets and just how cold some areas are. And we're going to compare different countries with each other. We're also going to be going back in time and we're going to see what the temperature was like in some places, in exactly the same place, exactly the same day, exactly the same month, to just a different year, same location as well. And we're going to see what the temperature is like and whether that change is visible and you can see it. So let's get started on the first thing, which is what I want to do, and I want to find the hottest place that is on the planet right now. And so let's zoom out and find the darkest orange and the darkest red. Just to let you know, on the left side here, there is our temperature scale. We don't need to click anything. It just we just hover over and it provides a temperature reading. It may be a bit too small. I will magnify that in the edit. If it doesn't work in the edit, then I will also be stating it and speaking it on the video in Celsius. I will try and state it in Fahrenheit as well, but don't hold me to that. But essentially how it goes is the redder the something is, the hotter it is, and the more you go into sort of the greens, the turquoises and the blues, and maybe even a purple. Purple is the coldest, blue is the next coldest, green, it goes, then turquoise, and then green is sort of more of a average, mild climate. So right now, right here, I'm looking at sort of Africa, Sahara Desert, Middle East, and I'm thinking this is where we're going to find our hottest point on the planet. And I think I found it here, and I'm testing my geography. I think that's Iran. There is some cloud cover blocking some coastline and some land features that may help me distinguish between the different countries, but I'll try my best and test myself on my geography. And here in Iran, or I think is Iran, it is 336, currently 63 degrees Celsius. Can you imagine going out in the heat, 63 degrees Celsius? It's currently mid-30s here in the UK and I am boiling hot. I can't imagine going out, going shopping in 63 degrees Celsius. One thing you'll notice here is these are almost like scratch marks, like bear claw marks, what seem to be going through the page. And that's because the Earth is a sphere, and if you try and flatten out a sphere, you'll get sort of, instead of having, they've sort of basically cut it out because they want to try and mimic what the sphere is like flat. So that's the sort of dimensionality they've sort of taken into account. So let's take a look somewhere else, the Sahara Desert. So the most highest temperature in the Sahara Desert I can find is 324. 324, 51 degrees Celsius. So what we're saying here is Iran, central Iran, is about 12 degrees, approximately 12 degrees hotter than the hottest point we can find in the Sahara Desert. Okay, just take that into mind and take that into account. Yeah, I'll let you absorb that fact. What about this central area of Saudi Arabia? That's also pretty boiling hot. 330, 57 degrees Celsius. So we're talking mid-range between central Iran and the hottest area we can find in Sahara Desert. Let's take it a different dimension now. Let's go along from what seems to be sort of fairly equatorial, so in the same sort of along the equatory sort of temperatures. So we'll take the hottest area we can find in Iran, and we're going to go along. We're going to actually go along east to, I believe that is Oh, here we go, here we go. That's Nepal or China. The border of Nepal and China, somewhere around there, it is 300. 26 to 27 degrees approximately. So we've just gone along a bit here and we've gone down 30 degrees Celsius. Actually, I found an even closer area, the coastline of Iran. The coastline of Iran is pretty much 30 degrees Celsius. So from central Iran to the coast, you drop 30 degrees. You drop the entire temperature I'm experiencing right now here, sweating whilst recording this video. What else? Oh, this is an interesting one. Central Spain. So central Spain is 306 degrees Kelvin, 32 degrees Celsius, or 33 degrees Celsius. If we go along, same latitude, keep going along into the Americas, here, somewhere around here, 311. It's actually hotter in America than it is in central Spain. Yet, Spain looks a lot redder than the parts of America. And I'm going to touch upon a point here. When we do the comparisons, I want you to see if you can see this yourself. Because when we compare to previous years, I think they've made previous years a lot redder. Similar temperatures, but a lot redder than the similar temperatures nowadays. But I'll leave that for you to discuss, to figure out for yourself and to discover when we touch upon that. Another interesting one is if we UK is, well, in center of the UK is approximately 299 Kelvin. Not 399, 299. 26 degrees Celsius. That's balmy compared to where I'm experiencing around London. This is mid UK. And if we go along the same latitude here, we see here, literally going along, try and go as straight as possible. Try and grab a reading. Here we go, 294, 20 degrees Celsius. So we're dropping like 5-10 degrees just from going the other side of the Atlantic. This is a really interesting one. The hottest area of the Sahara, right? Same latitude as Florida. Remember, we found that the Sahara was approximately 46, 50 degrees Celsius. Right, go along to Florida, exactly the same latitude. Going to central bits of Florida, so away from the coastline a bit. 307, 33 degrees. That's a massive drop of like 15, 20 degrees Celsius just from being across the Atlantic. Same latitude, same month, same day, all that. So where you are on the planet really does matter, and because other things to take into account, like ocean currents, other weather systems, your altitude that you're on. For example, if we look here in the sort of mountainous areas like of the Andes, we can see here that it's quite a sort of 288. You can see from the weather, from the color, but it's 15 degrees Celsius. That's very mild. The color is green, very mild. But you drop here to down towards the coastline, so it goes up to 301. 28 degrees Celsius. So 14 degrees Celsius here, down to 28 degrees Celsius here. That's like a doubling almost in the temperature. What's very interesting is if we go along, I spotted this just doing little recce earlier. Taiwan, tiny island, right? Tiny island. In the center of the island, it's quite mountainous, quite hilly. 276, right? 276, 3 degrees Celsius, right? Go to the coastline, 306. You're increasing in temperature about 30 degrees Celsius in a very, very small distance. I thought that was absolutely crazy. So let's now go back in time. Let's do like a time comparison. I always like to sort of go, for some reason, go to France. I have no idea why. So if we go to France here, It's a very distinctive shape, I think. That's quite why I quite like it. And this is 2026 July 08. 08 is not the year. 08 is the 8th of July 2026. They do it in reverse. Forget the bottom, seeing the bottom left. That's just what I can change in the comparison. So we're on A right now, which is today's date. If we go back 16 years to 2010, let's do a few temperature measurements. 16. So here, 309 K. We're just going to do it from K now because we're just comparing one against the other. 309 K, 310, 310 K, 308. So between 308 and 310, there's 305 there. Let's go into the sort of reddier areas. So I'm going to keep my eye on one spot. That's this sort of area there. And then we're going to go across 308, 308, 308. So it's the same 308. In fact, this is now redder than what's previously, right? They've changed the colorings. What's also interesting is if we go to sort of here, we see the Alps, much cooler in the Alps. You go down to sort of more, sort of less mountainous areas of Italy and France, the other side. Again, big changes in temperature. But if you compare Italy to Italy, here, this is the reddest area. You can see 312, go across. Here, 311, 312. Same, exactly the same. I think they've got even like less of a redder here as we go along. This is the interesting one here. So where I said it, I thought it was getting redder, it's because this is what I was thinking of. This is what I was looking. Actually, it was the opposite in Europe. But if we go to Saudi Arabia, here we have 329, 327. Here, look at that, 330, 336. It is a bit hotter. That is massively hot, actually. That's crazy. 335. That's 62 degrees Celsius. Let's go to Central Iran on this. 341. I think we've broken the record right now. 69 degrees Celsius. Remember, this is what NASA has got from their satellite images. So it's NASA Worldview, what I'm using. It is actually open source, free to use for everyone. I want to thank them for letting me use it, even though it is open source. It's just nice to sort of thank people. But yeah, if you want to do this, you just have to look at land surface temperature layer, draw that on top of the NASA Worldview, and you can sort of go backwards and forwards in time. But you can see here is that there's not much of a difference in temperature. There is a massive difference in the colorage that they're using to compare the temperatures, which I thought was very interesting. So that's just a quick whistle-stop tour of just showing comparisons here and there. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will be doing more in-person, going to locations, going to extreme weather events where possible, and showing you firsthand and experiencing it firsthand and making videos of that. So please do like and subscribe, and please do share it with anyone else who you feel may enjoy watching these videos. Thanks very much for watching.